Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite Gimp with the Limp, and I'm here with the next part and should be final part of Tank Duel, the review through playthrough that I am doing for this game. As usual, make sure you watch the previous crap before you watch this, otherwise you're not going to know what the hell is going on. One quick update, I did forget to place the spotted counter for the enemy tank, the robotic tank, when I did fire at it in the previous turn. He had obviously spotted me, since you automatically spot when you fire or move and do crap like that. So, we're ready to get started. It's now the AI's turn. We'll go ahead and get his initiative card discarded. He still has on fire and broken cards in his box because he is battered from where I killed his driver in the previous video. I shot him up. Did a little damage, not a whole lot, but we actually killed somebody, so that was good stuff. Now it's him acting, and we're gonna walk through our robota again to see how they're going to behave. Oh, sorry if it sounds like a little bit of dull roar. It is raining where I'm at right now. I'm hoping that it's quiet enough. It's just kind of like a little drizzle that it's not coming through the camera, but if you guys can hear kind of like a little low roar in the background, it's raining. All right, so we are onto the tank phase. We're into the robota, and it's their administration step. And we haven't done a whole lot when it comes to administration yet in this game because there hasn't been a whole lot going on. But the administration step really does come into play when you have things like on fire, broken, or scoring opportunities to worry about. We don't have any scoring opportunities because I'm basically walking through the mechanics of the game. But we definitely do have these two to worry about from the damage that I did. Now, the robota's administration step obviously is handled a little bit different from how a regular tank is going to be handled. Now, it does say that the steps for the robota is the same as the player with these exceptions. When we're resolving an on-fire check, if the active tank commander or half its crew rounded up is wounded or killed, you pull a battle card, and if the target number is equal to or higher than the active robota's bailout target, then its crew bails out. That's not the case here. We only have one driver killed. We'd have to have someone else wounded or killed for that to come into play. If the crew does not bail out, automatically extinguish fire and automatically rally a broken crew. Now, I'm going to handle it the same way. The thing of it is after we do our fire checks to see if the fire is going to spread or if the crew fails its morale check, then they would automatically, if they pass both of those, fix the fire and fix this broken card. Now, here's the part I was curious about, and I was asking yesterday, like, okay, or not yesterday, the last time I filmed this, after completing the administration step, a robota tank with killed in action crew will automatically conduct a change crew assignment for free. So basically, this assistant driver is automatically going to move over if they pass all this. So I'll just go ahead and move this over because it doesn't matter. Anyway, if he fails, they're going to die. If they fail the fire check, they'll be bailing out. If they fail the morale check, they'll be bailing out. But at least this way, if I move it, I won't forget it later. So when it comes to our administration step, normally, grab our other one, where is it here? We don't have to worry about a smoke check, we don't have smoke going on, but we do have to do the fire check and the morale check to see if the fire goes out of control or if the morale check has failed. You can discard cards from your hand that have those OI markers on them. Obviously, the robota tank is not going to have a hand of cards. That's why theirs is handled a little bit differently. So we're going to draw a battle card, and we're going to see if the battle card has a fire icon. If it does, it grows out of control, and the crew must attempt to escape. If it has a fire extinguisher icon, the fire is automatically extinguished. That's kind of moot for a robota. Otherwise, there's no effect and the tank remains on fire. So let's draw a battle card. So we get, and this one only has smoke icon on it. These little round spots here are where those icons are going to be located. Obviously, there's no fire extinguisher, but there's no fire either. So it's not growing out of control, but we know from what it said in the robota thing that if it passes that, it is automatically going to extinguish its fire. So we'll pull the fire marker off for now. We have to hope that they break. Now, if they break, they're automatically going to bail out. And remember from when we talked about this previously, if you're broken and you fail a morale check, which is drawing a damage card and checking those icons on the right, then you're done. You bail out. So let's draw our damage card. I had to find it where they're at. Over here. Oh, look at this. I so expected them to be done. They were on fire and they were broken and they actually passed. The only one on this card is the immobilized icon. If they were immobilized, they would have failed. But the green, seasoned, and elite commanders all pass. The killed in action commander and the fire. So he passes everything. They pass the damn morale check. You gotta be kidding me. So that means they're automatically going to be rallied. Let's pull this off. So they're actually still in the game. I did not expect that to happen, honestly. So, well, it doesn't matter. It actually means that it was good to go ahead and move this assistant driver over because he's in the place that he needs to be now. And we're going to go through just like we did previously, using the Robota action card here to determine what their actions are going to be. Okay, so according to our action step, we're going to be doing the same thing that we did previously, where we're revealing a set number of cards and then checking for any other modifiers. The only modifier they're going to have currently is going to be the +1 for the range that they're at. So they're actually going to reveal 4 battle cards, resolve any command cards that come out, play any possible terrain cards, and they're going to pick a primary action and possibly a secondary action based on this card here. So let's go ahead and reveal our cards real quick, and then we'll see what they're going to do with them. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. No command cards to worry about. Now let's look at their primary actions here. Execute mission priority. They do not have one, obviously, because we're not doing a specific mission. Fire at a high quality enemy target. Now that they should have, actually. Let's see. High quality for them is going to be at least a penetration of -1, which they should have, and a to hit of 60. At the range that they're at, 800 meters, they've got a to hit of 79, but I have to look at the other modifiers first. Let's see. 15 for my cover, which will bring that down from 79 to 69, 64. And penetration they've obviously got because their penetration at 800 meters is 8. And my armor is 7 at the highest at the frontal armor. He doesn't have me flanked. Is there anything else? Oh, my size. My size is, what was that? 79. That'll bring it down to 59. Oh, he can't make the high quality shot. He's off by 1. Okay, just so we can see the enemy tank fire, because I want to walk through that one time with you guys as well. We're going to give him the 1 point. We're going to say he's close enough. So we'll have him take his high quality shot of 1 off because he's in the ballpark. Okay, so this is going to be done just like we did our success checks for movement previously. He's going to be looking at these target numbers on these cards that are laid out here. And the thing of it is, now that I'm looking at it, I see that the second one is 0. And I'm not 100% sure whether that is read as 10 or whether it's read as 0. I think it's read as 0. I'm like 90% sure it's read as 0. So we're going to read it as 0. But I could potentially be wrong, putting it out there. So remember, for our success checks, we're looking at the first target number to see if it's equal to or under. That's a success level of 1. And then our second number, we're looking to see if it's equal to or under half of our number here, rounded up. So the first one would have to be 7 or under, and the second one would have to be 4 or under since his fire level is a 7, okay? So we actually get 2 successes here. So this is like him playing 2 cards in which he's firing at me right now. So he has definitely succeeded in his attempt to play a fire card, should we say. All right, so looking at our little Roboto player aid here, we can see that he has a little blurb for his fire action as well. Determine the target. Target's obviously going to be my tank since that's his only target right now. And then we use the reveal battle cards, which we just did. So he's got 2 successes. And if the active tank, so if he's in motion, which he isn't, he would stop moving. He wouldn't get that movement penalty that there is. Actually, you see there's not even a movement penalty on here. And I think that's done specifically because he can't have a movement penalty. He stops moving for free. He doesn't have to discard a card or anything to make that happen like an active player tank would. All right, so he could do that free action. He doesn't need to. And then you determine his hit number with the normal modifiers in addition to these. And that is if there's 1 or more reveal battle cards that have a fire card and they have modifiers, then they get applied. Or if there's a leadership card, it gets a, a plus 20. He does not have either. He's got tactics and flank cards. So none of those are actually helping him at this point. So we're going to resolve a fire action as normal from here. Now, where does it say about the hit location? If the success check had 2 successes, choose the lowest armor value for the hit location. Turret if tied. Okay, so he's actually going to aim for my turret since my turret is armor of 6. And otherwise, determine the hit location as if a single fire card was played. And then we'll continue on to our secondary action. So we can continue on with our... I'm constantly flipping back and forth between player aids here. To our first player aid, our regular player aid, and we are going to walk down our modifiers again. And now that we know he's got 2 successes, I'm going to go ahead and discard these so they're out of the way so we can perform our fire procedure here. Now, what other modifiers? He's not getting any leadership, any fire cards. He should just be at 59 because I think we figured that out already for anything that applies. Because I am getting my cover of 15 and my -5 for my my size. So he should just be the 79 minus 20 puts him at a 59 or under. Like I said, it's supposed to be 60, but we're giving him the 1 point leeway just so he can take the shot at me and let you guys see how that's going to apply. Oh, and he has to select my turret as a target. It's a good thing he got the 2 successes because with my hull down status, if he only had the 1 success and ended up hitting me in the hull, bam, nothing. So he has to hit me in the turret. Real good thing for him to have the 2 successes there for him to play. So we are at the point where we can determine if the target is hit, which we have to draw our number here. Is he hit? No. He got a 78, so he missed. So that is actually pretty good for me. Now, had he actually hit me, he would have continued on drawing the cards to see if it penetrated, to see what type of damage it caused, if it caused damage, if it caused critical damage, the same way that we did it when I shot at him and we got to see it walk the whole way through. So after you do your success checks and figure out all your modifiers that can apply, it's pretty much done the same way as a regular tank is played. So that part we've already seen and gone over, and you should have a basic grasp of how you're looking at the hit location, armor penetration, all that other good stuff. Now, he doesn't have any secondary actions to worry about. I'm already spotted. He doesn't have the chance to go hull down. We didn't worry about APCR, smoke, or anything. So he's good at this point. So that's pretty much the end of our round. Now, the way the game would go on is we would continue playing rounds like this back and forth, accumulating points until you ended up coming across either the end game or the shuffle card. Remember, it's the amount of decks that you play through in this game. Generally, a game is 3 decks where you play through and you're shuffling it until... Actually, let's see if we can find it. It should be in here somewhere. I won't be able to find it now that I'm looking for it, that shuffle card, because it's shuffled into the bottom half of the deck. So it can be anywhere in that bottom half. Here it is. So you see it was actually rather close to the top. We only had that many cards left before we were going to hit that shuffle card. But when you hit it, you'll finish out whatever action that you had going on, shuffle the deck, continue on with the game, and after you've shuffled twice, then you put in the game end card instead of the shuffle card, and then when you hit that, the game's over. Whoever's got the most point wins. So that's the basic gist of Tank Duel. And I gotta say, I've seen people talking about it online, and I agree with them, okay? And it's like I said a couple of times previously, the game itself is good. Let's ignore the game, go for the Robota for a sec, because that's really my focus here, is the Robota's fiddly, okay? It is a lot of steps. There's a lot of walking it down, this, that, and the other. But it really is kind of like a good liquor, you know, one that hits you hard at first, but after you keep drinking for a little while, it kind of gets better and it grows on you. I think the Robota's along those lines. The success checks kind of threw me when I first started trying them and getting into it, but after doing it a few times, it really starts to flow and you start to get the hang of it, and it's not as difficult as it initially seems. There just are a lot of steps that you have to take in the game itself, and then adding the Robota on top of it just adds those extra amount of steps that just makes it seem so convoluted when it really isn't. The big thing is they did try to put on the cards everything to stand out, like all the cards have the red marks around them, like spotted, to try to remind you X, Y, Z or happen, or at the range that you're going to get an extra card. They've done what they can to have visual cues on the boards and the pieces and the cards to make it as easy for you as possible. And just like any other GMT game, and for the most part any other war game, if you follow the player aid and walk it through slowly, step by step, for the most part, you're not going to make too many mistakes. Like I made the mistake earlier where I forgot to put the spotted marker there, and I would have hopefully caught it at some point. But little things like that that's going to happen with any game as you're learning it. I don't think this game is so hard that you're going to be making buttloads of those. I would put it a fair bit easier than Fields of Fire, right? I know I've compared it to Fields of Fire since they're both abstracted. This is like the tank version, and Fields of Fire is like the company version of an abstracted war game. But I would place Fields of Fire much more in depth. So if I had to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, say, I would probably put Fields of Fire at like an 8.5, and this one more is a 7, okay? You guys know I don't always agree with GMT's scales, and to be fair, my memory's not perfect, you know, brain injury, and also sometimes it is a little bit harder for me to remember certain things, and it might make me rate it a little bit higher than someone else might. So keep that in mind when you're listening to what I'm saying on it. You know, everyone has a different opinion, a different way that they handle things, so you know yourself. You know if you like abstracted stuff. You know if this game's going to be for you. If you've watched up until this point, I guarantee you've either already bought this game or decided that you're not going to get it, period. I will add on to if you are someone who likes Silent Victory, The Hunters, Target for Today, Fields of Fire, some of those games that have good, solid solo ability, so solitaire playability. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Games that can be soloed well and have fun, and games like that. I think this one's going to be up your alley because I do think it solos well. And like I said, the potential for expansions for all different types of tanks, the potential for all different types of tanks to be added to the game is just outstanding. I really am looking forward to seeing American tanks added to the game and what other types of mechanics that they apply to the game. And remember, I haven't even shown you guys the infantry that can be included in the game, because there are optional rules in the game that I haven't even touched on. You didn't even see mines and other different stuff that can get applied. So there is a fair bit more than the basic gist of the overhaul that I've shown you here. So yeah, I'll finish up here. I will say this one took me a little bit to get my head around it. It took me a little while to get it to the table. I probably read the rule book 3 or 4 times, the playbook a couple of times, really trying to get my head around it. I don't know what it was. It was just hard for me to get this one to the table. But once I did, I got to say I enjoyed my experience. And this is one that I would look forward to playing solitaire again or against a human opponent. I do believe it plays well both ways. But like I've said a couple times already, you know already whether this is a type of game for you or not. And like I said, you probably already have it if you do. And if you don't, yeah, definitely get it. I enjoyed it. And as always, GMT has great components and quality and cards and stuff. Counters are great, so nothing to worry about on that end either. All right, but we'll go ahead and wrap up here. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, moans, bitches, gripes, complaints, all the other good stuff, feel free to put it down below. Y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.